I can't tell you how honored I am to be here tonight, to represent our party. I know that these are tough times. These are difficult times for people throughout this nation and throughout this state. It is the most difficult economic time we have seen since the Great Depression. That is why it is more important now than ever to have a leader for this state, a governor for this state, who will work for the working people and the middle class of Wisconsin. That's the governor I intend to be. Let me tell you why I'm running for governor, and let me tell you for whom I'm running for governor. I've had the great opportunity over the last 4 months to travel throughout this state and meet wonderful people, people who have never stopped believing in themselves, never stopped believing in their families, their communities, or the state of Wisconsin. People like the Smiths and the Bunnells in Rice Lake, two couples who had worked for a hardware store and got word that the hardware store was going to be closed. They decided at the time when our economy was going through the most difficult time since the Depression, they put in their hard-earned savings, saved that store, and created 50 jobs. They did it because they believed in themselves, their families, Rice Lake, and the state of Wisconsin. I'm running for governor for the young students I saw at Western Tech over in La Crosse. The young people who are trying to make sure that they can get nursing jobs, technical jobs. And they're doing it because they believe in themselves, and they've never stopped believing in themselves, or their community, or this state. I'm doing it for the young people that I saw up near Appleton, who are in a union training facility, getting technical skills so that they could continue to have jobs where they can support their families. That's what this is all about. People having jobs where they can support their families. I'm doing it for the people in Racine at A&E Incorporated, a company that has taken advantage in a positive way of the job credits that were created in this state, the tax credits that were created by our legislature and our governor that reward those companies that create jobs in the state of Wisconsin. Those are the people I'm running for governor for. For the people in De Pere and Appleton, places around this state, Ashland, all over the state, I see people who believe in their communities, who believe in themselves. And they want a leader who is not going to play games. They want a leader who's going to tell it to them straight. That's the type of leader I want to be for the state of Wisconsin. But I want to tell you who else I'm running for. I'm running for the couple, the gay couple I met here in Milwaukee, who have been together for 39 years and do not want their rights taken away. I'm running for that couple. And I'm running for the farmers that I met in Eau Claire County, the farmers who bring us the food that allow us to feed our families, who are facing economic difficulties. I'm running for them so that they know they have a governor on their side. That's why I'm running for governor. So let me tell you the values that I'm running on, because these are the values that unite us. I'm running because every person in this room wants their children or their grandchildren to get a good education. Everybody understands that's what's at stake in this state. And I'll tell you, I served in Congress with one of the candidates who's running for governor right now. And he came in with the Newt Gingrich revolution in 1994. And let me tell you what I saw when Newt Gingrich came in and his followers. I saw men, I'm not saying men and women, I saw men who benefited from the GI Bill and other student loan programs. And those benefits allowed them to climb the ladder of opportunity in this country that we all know is so important. But you know what I saw then? I saw that they climbed that ladder of opportunity. They got to the top of the building, and they did everything they could to pull that ladder up behind them, and more students couldn't get help. They did it by trying to cut aid to students who needed financial assistance to get through college. I'm running to make sure that we do not have a governor who tries to do the same thing in the state of Wisconsin, because it's too important for the future of this state. I'm running because we as Democrats believe in affordable health care and access to health care. Now, you've heard the previous speakers, our great members of Congress and the United States Senate, talk about what we just went through. And we've watched on television for the last 9, 10 months while the Republican leadership tried to paint a picture to scare every American. We heard the Republican leader talk about this was Armageddon. That was the phrase he used. Passage of this bill would be Armageddon. We heard them talk about the death panels. We heard them talk about how government was taking over our health care system. Well, we know what happened. The bill passed, and the sun rose the next day. And now we've got some questions. We've got some questions now that the legislation has been passed and signed into law. And you can ask either of the major Republican candidates for governor this question because they both asked for repeal of this legislation. If you meet them, ask them why. Ask them why they want to repeal the provision that says a 3-year-old boy who's been injured or has an illness should be denied health care in this country because their parents are changing a job. Ask them that question. Ask them that question. It's a real-world question. Or ask them why the 23-year-old woman, the young woman who's in school and has diabetes and is forced with a real-world decision of whether she should quit school, get a job, so she can get health insurance. And now, the law of our land says that she can get health insurance, so she can continue her technical education or her college education. Ask them why that young 23-year-old woman who has diabetes should not be able to get health care on her parents' policies. Those are real-world questions, and they play these ideological games, and they talk about repeal. But we're talking about real people who need health care in this country, and we are Democrats, and we want people to have health care in this country. I'm running for governor because I understand that our tax policies need to be tied to job creation. And we have candidates on the other side who are saying the first thing they're going to do when they come into office is cut taxes for their elite friends. They don't talk about the middle class. They talk about their elite friends. They don't mention them by name. But that's what they want to do at a time when we've got some serious fiscal issues in the state. They want to make it even more difficult for middle-class families because their number one priority is rewarding their rich friends. I don't want to reward their rich friends. If we are going to have tax cuts in this state, and I want us to have tax cuts in this state, they're going to go to the middle class, they're going to go to lower-income people, they're going to go to the people in this state who are struggling to support their families. That's why I'm running for governor. I'm running for governor because I understand that we as a state cannot afford to send $16 billion out of this state for our energy needs. That we have to focus on energy efficiency, sustainability, and conservation. And we're doing so in a way that will not destroy jobs. And we are not doing it in a way that's trying to divide people. But their whole mission is to divide us, as it always is, to give you a reason not to trust you, and to give you a reason not to trust you. I'm not going to let that happen as the governor of this state. It's too important. I know that economic growth and environmental sustainability go hand in hand to create more opportunities. That's why I'm running for governor of this state. And I'm running for governor to make sure that scientific advancements that we've seen in this state that have come out of our great university system, advancements like stem cell research, are not stopped by a small, loud, ideological band that is bent on turning the clock back in this state. We are going to move forward with scientific research. We are going to create more economic opportunities based on that research. And we've got two opponents on the other side who want to turn the clock back on that. I'm running to make sure that does not happen in the state of Wisconsin. So what are our values? Our values are we want to make sure our kids get an education. We want to make sure we have jobs where we can support our families. We want to make sure health care is there when we need it. And we understand that in Wisconsin, we've got a special duty because of the lakes and the rivers that we have in this state, that we are only the temporary stewards of the environment. And we have a moral obligation to make sure that our children and grandchildren can use those lakes and rivers. That's what we are as Democrats, that's what we've always been, and that's what I will be as the governor of this state. Now, some say this is going to be a tough year for Democrats. Some say the wind is blowing in our face. Some say the pendulum is shifting. Some say that the enthusiasm gap is too large. Well, I'm here to say it's up to you. It's up to you. Democracy is the ultimate participatory sport. It only works as well as we make it work. And we know what we've seen. We've seen a lot of enthusiasm on the other side. We've seen a lot of anger. And it's our choice. It's our choice as to whether we sit on our hands and let them grab the ball and start running in the other direction. But I'll tell you what I see when I talk to people in this state. I see people who don't want to turn the clock back, who love their families, who want to be able to support their families. But we have to work together. The people in this room have to do everything we can to make sure that they do not turn the clock back. That's why I'm running for governor. That's why I think it's important for us to keep the governor's office in the Democratic hands. So what do the people of the state want? They want accountability. They want straight talk. They understand that our problems are not solved by someone who's got a phony brown bag that's been developed by a PR firm in some other state. They understand that there's more at stake than that. They want a grown-up. The people want a grown-up in this state. This isn't a game. It's not a game. It's our lives. So let me tell you what I'll bring. I'll be authentic. I'll be straight with you. I'll tell you the way it is. I will be practical and not ideological. If you're looking for an ideological war, go to the other side. Because for me, this is about creating hope and opportunity in people's lives. It's about getting things done. That's the type of governor I'll be. And I won't talk down to you. I won't use gimmicks. Because this is real world stuff. This is important stuff. I believe in this state. I believe in the future of this state. And I know that if we work like we've never worked before, that we will win this election and we can continue to move the great state of Wisconsin forward. Now, it's not going to be easy. Senator Feingold talked about the United States Supreme Court decision, a horrible decision. And so we have really an unknown in front of us. We have perhaps zillions of dollars coming in from corporate interests. Are we going to allow them to decide what direction our democracy takes? I say the answer is no. But for that to happen, we have to be out there. We have to be out there working with our friends, our neighbors, everyone we can. The test is before us now. I am confident with your help that we can continue a state where people have never stopped believing, because that's what I see. People have never stopped believing in the state of Wisconsin because they know that their families, their communities, their state is a special place. So let's do everything we can, not just for me, but for the senators, for the congressmen, for our state legislature, to make sure that come November 2nd, we can proudly move the state of Wisconsin forward. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.